Now entering Nerdist.com.
Hello and welcome to Today We Learned.
Hello and welcome to Today We Learned.
A podcast of knowledge.
A podcast of knowledge. For those of you with your cereal withdrawals, this will have to do.
Yeah, we are not brought to you by MailChimp, MailKimp, or any variety of package delivering primate.
But we are brought to you by Kale Pimp.
Kale Pimp. If you are not getting enough hip vegetables in your life, we know a guy for $200. You'll get 40 minutes with all the salad you can eat. It is delicious. But guys, more importantly, this podcast is delicious for your brain. It's feeding your need for knowledge and comedy and laughs and smiles and everything in between. And I don't know how long the podcast is, but I'd say it's shorter than 6 hours. Shorter than 24 hours. We'll find out. I didn't check out the total runtime because you know what, guys? I'm not here to break down and obsess about numbers. I'm here for you. Razzle and I are here for you.
We are here for you.
Exactly. That's our gift to you. Ho, 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 my goodness.
Oh, my goodness.
Happy holidays, y'all.
Happy holidays.
We're deep into Hanukkah. Christmas is around the corner.
Yeah.
Guys.
What day is, I think...
I don't know anything about Kwanzaa, but we'll throw that in too.
I think, let me look here real quick.
If you're a pagan, sacrifice some stuff to demons. Do it. If you're an atheist, happy winter.
Happy winter. I'm looking here online. I think, Hanukkah ends tomorrow.
It does.
No, Hanukkah ends Wednesday.
It ends,
so in 2 days. So today's
Monday.
Monday.
If you're listening to this on Tuesday, it ends tomorrow.
It ends on the December 24th. So happy Hanukkah and Merry Christmas.
Baruch atah Adonai. See you later, Hanukkah. Christmas is on the way.
Yeah. This is a great episode. This is a fun episode.
Yeah, a guy I've known for a long time. Been trying to get him on the podcast for a minute now. Very exciting stuff.
Yeah.
He just created a fantastic card game called Roots. Just got kickstarted. It's a game of word building and language. He is working on the upcoming Harry Potter massively multiplayer online role-playing game, the Harry Potter MMO, called The Wizarding World. And he's just a very funny guy. So
yeah, very good guy. Very good episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
We preface this by saying have a happy and safe holiday and enjoy this. Hopefully you're listening to this while you're traveling to celebrate the holiday with loved ones or friends or whatever.
Or drinking your body weight in eggnog.
Absolutely. So let's get to this. We'll today we
learned number 67 with James Pianka.
Today we learned. Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
Favorites is the TD4W button.
The what?
.com. TD4W button.
Turn down for what?
Just that drop. Anything can get turned up in your office in a matter of a single click.
I like that. And on that note,
I
think we're going to lead in with that.
Yeah, as we all should.
Because that's just the perfect.
Yeah,
that's just the.
We're not gonna get a better lead in than that.
No.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Today We Learned. I'm Dan,
and I am Razzle. I'm gonna change that up here.
Yeah,
I was thinking about that because even on like both podcasts I do, everybody's like, I'm Dan, I'm Zach, whatever, and I'm always like, and my name is Razzle, and it's like, it's kind of. I mean, I get that that's my Twitter and all that, but it's, I'll change it up. So I am Razzle. That doesn't sound. That sounds so weird saying that.
In case you can't see this, because you're listening to a podcast, there is a man with a gun to his head. Say your name.
I am Razzle.
I am Razzle. I am saying this under my own free will. Not compelled. Super not kidnapped right now.
Super safe and sound. My well-being is 100%.
So this is our first episode coming from the trunk of an old Mazda. But, it was bound to happen sooner or later. But fortunately, we have someone else in here with us, guys. Very happy to welcome to the podcast James Pianka.
Good morning.
James, thanks for being here today, man.
Absolutely. Thanks for
James,
having
thank you very much for being here.
And James, I've known him for a while. We actually went to college together, but he is super awesome in his own right. He is a game designer, narrative designer for games. He's worked on some really cool stuff. He just had a game go through Kickstarter called Roots.
Awesome.
A game of like language building and word building, which is really freaking cool. He's written stuff for Magic the Gathering.
I like it.
And he's hilarious on Twitter. Am I leaving out any other important credits?
No, you got to do the best.
Good.
A little
Just
generous
making
with
sure.
the Twitter, but
Well, no, he's a funny guy. Hashtag FF.
Hashtag FF is Follow Friday.
Listen to this on a Friday, so it doesn't seem.
I thought you were saying funny friend or funny something.
Oh yeah,
follow him.
Hashtag, yeah.
I'm like, wait, it's the
Hashtag Fantastic Four.
The gun next to my head is really confusing
exactly.
and slowing down
it's
my
pressing
brain.
into my temples.
that's like
Hashtag
a dad
new fantastic
interpretation of a
food,
hashtag.
Yeah.
Funny friend.
Oh, could that mean something else?
Fantastic fellow.
Fantastic father. Thanks, Dad.
That was, Dad, you can't hashtag yourself. You're embarrassing me in front of my friends.
Hashtag BJ's bad jokes.
Funny story about that. I don't know if I've told this story on the podcast before, but one time it was like I was in high school, like maybe a freshman. So we'd had a computer for a while. Like I was pretty well versed in it. My mother was not necessarily the technical support person in our family. So all of a sudden, I hear a scream come from my mother's home office, and I'm like, "Oh my God, what's happening? That's not usual behavior." So I run down there, and I look at her monitor, and it is filled with some salacious images. And I'm like, I look at it, and I see in the search bar.
These weren't your salacious images.
No. She was trying to. I would hope
you
not.
weren't getting caught?
You'll never find them, Mom. No, she had Google image search. She was trying to find the logo for the chain store BJ's.
Oh.
And what she discovered was the internet. She discovered the internet that day.
Reacting as if she had never seen a BJ.
Yeah, I just walked in. I was like, nope. I walked right back out.
That's so funny.
So safe search on, please.
Safe search on. That reminds a buddy of mine sent me a picture the other day. It's so old and I've seen it before, but it's still so funny. It's a dude with a brand new gold watch. And he's like, "Hey, check out my brand new watch." And everybody's looking at the watch, and they don't realize there's a big dong like underneath the watch.
Perfect.
It's like, it's old. I've seen it.
Yeah.
But that's still funny, and I'm gonna.
I mean, that could be a billboard, right? It's like a guy. He's like from the waist up. He's dressed immaculately, and like
Yeah.
waist down, he's just like totally naked and
Yeah.
like kind of inappropriately furry, and it's just like, you know.
It's just googly eyes on his wiener.
But nobody notices. Everyone's
Nobody knows.
Just, like, enchanted by his glasses.
My God.
Warby Parker's 2015
Pocket
model.
squares. You won't even notice the wiener. Oh, did I knock out the lighting in here? Well, that's okay.
The lighting.
We
just
will
went out.
podcast in the shade.
It's fine. We're in a Mazda.
Exactly.
Hey, let us out. Keep it down back there.
I think we're at a red light.
You guys okay with easy listening? So James,
Taylor Swift coming up. I hope you're okay with that.
so just shake off these bonds and shackles and keep podcasting.
Yes.
So James, as you may know, we like to start the podcast with our guest either providing a fact about themselves people might not know, or something cool they learned recently.
The homework assignment, yeah.
Yes.
Well, I came prepared. I did learn something. I did some research.
I like
Awesome.
Specifically about Tutankhamun's penis.
Ooh.
I discovered that he... I mean, I did not Google this. I arrived at this.
It's okay. This is a safe space.
No, okay, it's fine. It's fine. I have a thing for
I have a
ancient
Google
mummified
alert.
penises. I need them. I just can't get enough. Anyway, so apparently Tutankhamun was buried with his penis, or mummified rather, with his penis erect, and not just kind of like pointed up at his chin at like an appropriate erect penis angle. Like, you know, he's on his back, right? So it's pointed directly at the sky, like 90-degree vertical kind of thing. I'm surprised it wasn't in a canopic jar elsewhere on a shelf. They kept it intact, but it was vertical. And evidently this was done to sort of subvert his younger brother's kind of like spiritual revolutionary efforts. He was trying to kind of redirect Egyptian worship toward Osiris, and so Tutankhamun's body was kind of oddly arranged and mutilated in other ways to make it greater resemble Osiris's like death narrative, which part of which involves like regenerative penis powers or something.
Yeah. I have those.
Tell me more. Tell me more about this Osiris guy. Sounds like some pretty neat ideas.
These are all facts.
He's a real pleaser. But I guess that's what I learned. I'm kind of astonished about that angle.
And
because you'd think I guess a really high sarcophagus, right?
Yeah.
Unless you had kind of like a little micro dong.
I mean, my sarcophagus would be pretty low. No. If I was
it's just a sarcophagus, but there's just like a weird like little column rising from it. It's but no, I think I actually have heard that before, and unfortunately, I'm sure they had to just like use some sort of horrifying rod in order to.
Right, because the blood is what keeps them intact, or erect rather. So what would keep it in vertical? I guess
a healthy appreciation for Osiris.
Yeah,
it'll keep your boner
deep
intact for all time.
Yeah, he was apparently his he was discovered, and I'm looking here. I had it here. It was in 1922. Apparently, is when his tomb and all that was discovered by Howard Carter and George Herbert.
Yes, unleashing the great curse.
Yeah.
Fifth.
On
Get
Brendan
this.
Fraser's career.
Get this. George Herbert was the 5th Earl of Carnarvon. The place, whatever that is, but he's the 5th Earl.
The 5th Earl.
Yeah. Take that, 4th Earl. I found King Tut.
Could you imagine being so just idle in your time that you can just gallivant about the Saharan
world?
wastes?
Yeah, right?
The undiscovered. I mean, and in 1922, the world was relatively still undiscovered.
To the imperial power.
You know what I mean? Like, when you think about it, like, to the, to the educated or whatever, to the, and I don't mean that, in a ill manner, but to the, the new world, I guess. To
the Anglo-Saxon authors of
exactly,
history,
exactly. That have to the people who document things or whatever. I mean, it was still relatively, nobody.
You couldn't just hop on Google Earth.
Right.
Exactly.
You had to worry I might have polio.
And that's less than 100 years ago.
Whereas today, when I'm looking for the burial site of an ancient king, I just type it into Google and a satellite illuminates it immediately.
And
It's in
right
the middle
there.
of the Pacific. It's right there. Perfect.
Absolutely.
Cool. Praise Cthulhu.
And that's and that's less than 100 years. That's so. I mean, it always amazes me how things like this that you think of, King Tut or whatever, and you think, oh, it was discovered in the 1800s or whatever, but it's still relatively. All those pyramids and all those were excavated and researched and mapped out less than 100 years ago.
And we only learned recently they were built by the Decepticons.
Yeah.
That's an ancient burial ground.
For whatever thing is the MacGuffin of the new movie.
Exactly.
The curse is actually a great conceit for a horror film, I think.
Yeah.
You open a curse and you open an ancient tomb and there's the sand and shit and you've been cursed. But I think they're doing that now, right? It's called Pyramid or something like The Pyramid.
Probably.
One just came out called The Pyramid.
It does not look awesome, but I really want that conceit to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear it's.
Oh, there's a movie coming out,
but it's not without. It's not totally without merit.
Right. Oh, so there is a movie called The Pyramid.
Called The Pyramid.
God damn it!
Yeah, it's happening now.
That upsets me because I was writing a spec script titled Pyramid about Amway. It was about Amway and all these other pyramid schemes.
I think it's still a good working title. It's
that's fine.
It's about the food pyramid, and it's all about health nutrition.
Make it a pyramid.
A pyramid. It's all about
Eggs keep moving around.
It's all about pizza and barley and grains and getting sugar, eating sugar.
And is there fats and oils at the top there?
And there's Decepticons.
Ooh. The Decepticons of diets.
The Decepticons they're by every pyramid. They're
make sure you consume 12 Energon Cube servings each day.
Can I get them in non-fat yogurt?
Activia now comes with an Allspark. King Tut was also entombed with 6 chariots because why not?
No, he must have had a serious garage.
Seriously, all his sweit whips.
Little suicide doors.
Yeah, suicide doors in the chariot. Oh my God, pimp my Riot.
Here's a movie idea. Here's a movie idea. There were the research in the. He was actually buried with 7 chariots. But George Herbert, the 5th Earl, stole them.
The quest for the 5th chariot of King Tut.
Goddamn George Herbert stealing shit. There was only 6 chariots. You sure there's a spot here clearly for a 7th?
My God, the plot thickens. A couple other facts. I found this cool infographic on History.com. Remember History Channel? Before they showed Hitler's ice road truckers, they used to actually have history on there. But nowadays it lives on their website. When they unearthed King Tut, they found 0 cavities in his teeth, which is impressive.
Ooh.
So clearly he was not eating sweets and Energon cubes. He was eating whatever millet that they consumed back then. 7 shrouds were placed over each mummy. 3 people were involved in the mummification process: an embalmer, a cutter, and a scribe. Someone had to blog it.
All of whom were next to him in the
Exactly,
crypt, I
yeah.
imagine.
They're like, well, send this out by rope because we are doomed to an eternity of living here with King Tut.
I just pictured Tim Curry at the end of the Muppets Treasure Island film, or the beginning, right, when he pulls his pistols out and shoots his co-conspirators and their and stuff. For some reason, that image is burned into my childhood memory. So anytime
The black dot.
Yeah, the black dots. Every time someone murders their co-conspirators and their teammates and something like this, I just imagine Tim Curry always having the honor.
Yeah.
Showing up in ancient Egypt in a silly pirate hat.
Can you imagine if Tim Curry played the governor on The Walking Dead?
Oh my god. Where is
In a
he
perfect
these
world.
days? Is he doing anything right now?
I'm sure he's still working.
He's managing a hotel in New York.
Is he?
What do you mean?
Home Alone 2 Lost in New York.
Yeah. He does that he's seasonal work. And one mummy has been issued its own passport.
Ooh.
Ramses II took a trip to France.
He's a
Let
traveler.
my people go, Ramses.
Yeah.
He's got
And they would remove 4 organs during the mummification process: the lungs, the liver, stomach, and the intestines.
Couldn't he
So-
just be a carry-on? Why does he have to be his own?
Yeah,
his own thing?
we need to buy 2 seats. He's a little chunky. Can you imagine? Like, he's too fat for this sarcophagus.
He's like 9 feet tall.
Yeah, oh, man. And also, he has a jackal head. It would freak out the other passengers.
Yeah, the King Tut resided. It was in the Valley of the Kings, is what it was called.
Right.
It was the valley in Egypt.
Right,
It's a
right.
sick neighborhood. I think they
Yeah,
found
man.
63 tombs
Really?
in that valley. Yeah.
There's probably like 1 or 2 left. We should go.
Yeah,
Let's
I
go
know.
immediately.
Let's
Dibs.
go.
shotgun,
Kickstarter.
shotgun tombs.
Everybody
No
listening,
blitz.
everybody listening, send us thousands of dollars to go.
Cut to the
do
3 of
this.
us in
Yeah.
like male model Zoolander outfits and a like open
Clearly
Yeah.
not prepared.
Jeep,
like,
yeah.
with things we've seen in movies that like
Razzle, did you bring the water?
no, but I
Oh,
brought
no.
but I brought this awesome sand scarf.
Whoa!
I brought,
Prevents me from inhaling sand.
I brought a Capri Sun. We can share it. Oh, no. I stabbed it through the other side.
Oh, I bent the straw.
Oh, no. That's the worst. Then you have to just, like, press your mouth through the tiny hole.
You just squeeze it against
Yeah.
your face.
Like a glory hole for fruit juice. Well, I'm glad you brought up Muppet Treasure Island because
I don't often
going
get
back
to do
that.
so.
I know I really like that movie, and it reminds me, the holidays right around the corner.
Yeah.
One of my favorite holiday movies is Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yes.
So
been
much
a
so
while.
that the first album I ever purchased was the Muppet Christmas Carol soundtrack.
I'll tell you what,
Man.
that of all the Christmas Carol movies, the Muppet Christmas Carol is most verbatim in accordance with the book that
Oh,
I've
yeah?
seen. Yeah.
Interesting.
That I remember. I mean, I shouldn't say I've seen them all, but I've seen enough. And,
That
I mean,
one.
Yeah,
I feel like
Jim Henson, real literary purist.
feel like Charles Dickens was like,
Yeah. I did appreciate
Cratchit was green with envy, and he was a frog.
I did appreciate them expanding the lore a little bit to make it Marley and Marley, the
Yeah.
two brothers, so they could
And
get
Mr.
Statler and Waldorf in there.
And I mean, Mr. Fozziwig was
Mr.
clearly
Fozziwig.
written.
Come
for-
in and know me better, man. But yeah, it's one of my favorite Christmas movies. What do you guys have a favorite holiday movie, like a favorite Christmas or Hanukkah movie?
I'll
The
let you
only
go
Hanukkah movie I
first.
can really think of is American Tail, by the way.
Yeah.
Tim Allen just like sidekicked all the other holiday movies out of my brain and just stood there grinning at me in my the vacant space of my mind right now.
Thinking about the Santa Claus?
Yes,
that's-
he is now the only holiday film actor that has ever made a film in my brain.
That's interesting that you bring that up about the Santa Claus, because in 1995, the VHS for the Santa Claus with Tim Allen was released on VHS, and in the movie, at the beginning of the film, there's a joke where his ex-wife or whatever, she's going to visit her, her boyfriend's parents or whatever, and she's like, "Here's the phone number," and Scott, Tim Allen's character, says 1-800-SPANK me. I know that number, and then he made like a like that animal nose.
Right,
But
90s
anyways,
sex humor.
The number 1-800-SPANK-ME that he said in the movie and that was released on VHS was actually a real number. And a kid in Steilacoom, Washington, called the number and racked up a $400 bill.
Yeah.
So they removed it from subsequent printings and all that. They took it out of the movie and they don't air it on TV because it's 1-800-SPANK-ME is an actual number.
More than just a real number, it's actually a service.
It's a real phone
title.
sex number.
Exactly.
Right,
it's a real sex. It's a real.
It's
sex
not just
phone number.
someone's.
It's
cell
for
phone
people that
Correct.
want to get spanked over the
Yeah,
phone.
yeah.
Right.
It's
'cause
a
that's
real.
really meaningful.
It's a real sex number, and they had it in the phone, and a kid called it and racked up a $400
Oh my
bill.
goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. How old was this kid? 25.
He was like 10 years old, I think.
Not old enough.
Speaking of, I guess if we're talking about favorite Christmas movies, my favorite Christmas movie would probably be, I can't remember what I said on the other one, so if anybody are crossovers, I got another podcast called Picking Favorites, and we just talk about
On the
favorites.
Wolf Pop Network.
Oh yeah, I got like 5 more podcasts. And stuff.
Yeah.
And we
I got a busy
Cast
day.
on cast.
We literally just talked about this, and I can't remember what I said.
You can't remember what your favorite
I can't
was?
remember. Well, because there was a few like crossovers, like we don't like repeating because everybody would just be like, "Oh, Die Hard."
Yeah.
But
So just like, fuck you.
oh
first
no,
time you
I know what I
that.
said. It was I would say Christmas Vacation is probably one of my favorites.
I'd say, yeah, it's a good call. I like
good
Christmas
one.
Vacation.
But Die
Super
Hard's a
fun.
second, and then Gremlins was a really good one.
Yeah, Gremlins is great.
Lethal Weapon's a really good. Home Alone.
Any Shane Black movie.
really like
All
that,
his stuff
yeah.
takes place at Christmas. Kiss,
Yeah.
Kiss, Bang, Bang. Even Iron Man 3 takes place at
Yeah.
Christmas.
Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah.
Really
No,
good.
it's just super uplifting.
Brings the family together.
But anyways, Dan, do you have some Up a Christmas Carol facts, or what brought you? Was that a segue? Was that just a perfect segue?
It
too?
was a
Then-
segue to get us into Christmas
Oh, perfect.
movies.
Well, here we go then. All right, here we go. Speaking of Christmas movies, I got a couple more. We got some more facts here for since it's the holidays. It's the week of the holiday season. You guys ever have like when you whatever you celebrate with your, be it Hanukkah or Christmas or whatever, do you ever do like a white elephant gift exchange or
Yeah.
anything like that?
Oh, yeah.
You mean like
do
a
that.
Secret Santa?
Secret Santa.
Secrets. White Elephant is a variant of Secret Santa.
Nice.
Or
Can you
as they-
explain
Or like
that?
a Yankee
Sure.
swap.
So it's referred to as, it could either be like the Chinese Christmas, the white elephant, the Yankee swap. There's various names for it where what you do is, depending on, some of them are you actually spend and you buy a good gift that everyone would enjoy.
Right.
But then you have like a group
But
of,
general though, right? So that it could go to anybody.
Correct. You got a group of like maybe 10 to 15 people. Then you put the toys or the presents in the center. Then you pick. Everybody picks a number. Then you go around and you can either take from the pile or you can take from someone else who already opened.
I think I
So
did
it's
this
really
in
fun.
elementary school once, and it was the tits.
It's so
Yeah.
fun,
So good.
dude. It is so fun.
Anytime you can gamify
If there are-
gift giving.
Oh my god! 'Cause
Especially
everyone's
with your
like, "Ooh,
relatives."
I want that long cylindrical
Yes.
thing. Where I was like, I want the really tiny one because good things come in small packages
Yeah.
or whatever.
Exactly, and especially if it's like with your family members or whatever, it gets really competitive. Especially when there's like, because somebody's always going to put like a really good gift.
Right.
There's always like a really good thing that everybody wants, so you just keep taking that from each other.
Yeah.
You can
It's
do
so
really
fun.
complicated, like deceptive packaging
Yes.
techniques too.
Yep.
Like I'm just gonna put mine in like a dodecahedron and like really
Yes.
actually adhere to the curvature of this shape.
Exactly.
But this inside is just like a koosh ball or something.
Exactly, or like a gift card to Chili's. So that's the roundabout sort of way. But then also, some people do the white elephant as it's just it's Secret Santa with things laying around your house. And it's like used items or things you don't want, things you don't need or you don't want. And that's where it actually, the term white elephant originates from. It originates from Thailand. And if a Thai king became dissatisfied with a subordinate, he would give him a white elephant. The gift would, in most cases, ruin the recipient because the meaning is a burdensome possession, creating more trouble than what it's worth.
Why
And,
would the elephant's color?
Well, and I'll tell you, because the origin is the white albino elephants were regarded as holy in ancient times in Thailand and in other countries. And keeping a white elephant was a very expensive undertaking since the owner had to provide the elephant with special food, provide access for the people who wanted to worship it, and all of that stuff. So people who like...
Requires a
The
facility.
name itself is about
Yeah.
fucking over your friends.
Yeah.
Oh no, it burned down.
I'm reading off of the website phrases.org.uk. It's a list of phrases and the origins, and it references to the Indian and Thai veneration of white elephant dates back to at least the early 17th century, where the first reference in English to the idiomatic meaning term white elephant comes in 1851. and it's from a dude's letters in 1892 or whatever. This is a quote. His services are like so many white elephants, of which nobody can make use, and yet that drain one's gratitude, if indeed one does need feel one not be bankrupt. Because you're so. I mean, especially in that day and age, everybody's religious, and you're worshiping this item, and someone gives it to you.
Right.
You're not gonna get rid of it or kill it, or you're gonna worship it, and other people are gonna want to worship it.
I guess it depends on how seriously you take your faith.
Exactly.
Because if you're really stoked, if you are yourself a ardent white elephant worshiper, and you receive one, you might not leave the house for a while.
Kind of hang out. I'm an elephant supremacist.
But in the context of gift giving, if we translate that over, so what we're giving away burdensome gifts.
Yes.
What is the meaning of this? Why would we engage in such an exchange?
It makes it fun for, I guess, the holiday season, I suppose.
Yeah, I think
so that way you're not spending money on a Christmas gift, and you're giving, like the whole idiom, one man's junk is another man's treasure type of a thing.
Right.
I love one man's junk.
I love two man's junk.
Ooh, someone's greedy. No, but I feel like it's the same reason that people like ugly sweater parties, where it's still the essence of the holiday spirit, but you get some Schadenfreude in there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, oh my god, I'm gonna buy this gag gift for Reginald in accounting.
I fucking hate Reginald.
I know he is always going on about spreadsheets. By the way, fun fact, I walked in on the Nerdist finance director Googling pictures of calculators. It was amazing. So funny. It was one of my favorite things I've ever walked in on.
He was just stoked on him. He was like, actually, that was like his cheating at work. He was dicking around.
I walked in, I'm just like, Are you Google image searching calculators? He's
I
like,
fucking
what?
love the new TI-83 model. It's so sexy. Look at the sleek curvature. Oh my
god. Cosines, sines, tangents. It's got them all.
Can't get enough. I don't even know enough about math.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like
make jokes on that. Like, there's no access to that subject.
Check out this asymptote.
I actually do know that word. I use that word when I explain things like Moore's law, which is a thing I explain because I'm a nerd. But like, yeah, it's
Moore's law. Remind me, what is that? Like Ohm's law? No, Moore's law is
Moore was
not the Fibonacci law.
He was a computer scientist at IBM in like the 40s.
Oh, Moore's law is every 4 years or whatever.
Every
2 years,
duplicates and it's faster. It's stronger. It's like the circuit boards are
the
stronger.
like maximal computing power of the technology
will
on
double.
planet Earth doubles like every X number of years. And if you chart it backwards, it goes all the way back to like the abacus.
Yeah,
wow.
You can take it and just around in the end. We have you actually have some pretty serious thinkers over at places like MIT.
On occasion,
this dude Ray Kurzweil, who's sort of the
father of the modern synthesizer.
Yeah, he's like the most romantic and psychedelic of those who still actually have academic clout.
Yeah,
his whole thing is that it's actually not that far off if you look at the chart. That if computing power is doubling and doubling and doubling, it will reach a point of sort of near vertical infinite acceleration of its thing, which is like if you want to get really the singularity, you want to get really romantic, it's like AI becoming aware of itself and like flushing the human toilet and just sort of proceeding,
because it's just constantly doubling and so fast.
And it'd be crazy. It'd be like in 1 minute it's like like a little robot waking up in a lab somewhere, and then like 45 seconds later, he's like, am I terrorizing the planet? New York is like crumbling to cinders.
Yeah, we're sending Kurt Russell to save the president's daughter.
Hell yeah! If only he can sink 10 jump shots. And I may have brought this up before as well, but he actually made all of those shots himself.
Really?
He insisted on it.
Because he's Kurt Russell.
Yeah, it's just Kurt fucking Russell. That half-court lob where he's just like, huh! Just goes in. Like, Snake Plissken, bitch.
I'm gonna try. There's certain people that every now and then I'll look for their publicist information or whatever, and I'll toy around with trying to get them on, because he's somebody I would love to have on my podcast, on this podcast.
It's just someone I want to hang out with for an afternoon.
I want to have a reason to hang out with him for an hour.
Kurt Russell, I will take you to Chili's.
Well, anyway, guys, I have some white elephant gifts I'd like to distribute. Dan, for you, I got it's the spatula with which I made eggs this morning. It's
lovely.
still got some egg whites on the tip. It's great.
I always wanted protein for Christmas.
Yeah. So since we're talking about math here, though, here's a fun fact about math here. 4 is the only number that has the same number of characters as its value in the English language.
Interesting.
4 is the only number.
Wow, that is a fact.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And I believe in Japan the number 4 is associated with death because the word for it is shi, which is also representative of death.
I feel like you're
also
right.
representative of death here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I read
4
that.
more years until you die.
Yes, 4 is also, from what I remember, it's bad luck in Japan. It's considered unlucky, and like much like in the States, in the United States here, how we like a lot of hotels will not have like a 13th floor.
Yeah, they
Hotels.
Can we just stop doing that? There is a 13th floor. You call it whatever you want. It's still there. It's still haunted. You can't get around it. The ghost knows.
A lot of times what buildings will do is they'll have a very small, compacted floor in between.
Does that count? Do the ghosts think that counts? They're the only ones who matter. We're at their mercy.
I would
They
say,
did in
judging by
Being
everything
John
I know,
Malkovich.
ghosts love technicalities. Right? They're like, gotta respect it.
it's still technically
don't
a
like
floor."
it, but you got me there, architect.
Gotta respect the 13th floor.
Yeah.
If anyone comes in here, though, don't you dare.
Yeah, I mean the rent is half price. So.
Right.
And let's go over some other fun Japanese superstitions
Yes.
while we're at
All
it.
right.
I like it.
If you go to a Japanese funeral, you're supposed to throw salt over yourself before entering your house. It's believed to be a cleansing thing.
Yes.
You should never sleep with your head facing north, or you'll have a short life, because that is the way a body is laid out at a funeral.
I see.
Okay.
When you're out at a Japanese restaurant, don't stick your chopsticks into the food facing up, because then
You will
That
look like
means-
an asshole.
that's how they place them again at a funeral as an offering to the dead. So that
Oh, I
way,
see.
it's like it's symbolizing you're like, this food, I'm offering it to the afterlife.
This food is so garbage.
Yeah.
I will not eat it.
I told you, spicy mayo on this tuna.
Here is a little tombstone to
Yeah.
signify my displeasure.
Cutting your fingernails or toenails at night is bad luck.
When else would I cut them?
Midday, 1 p.m.
Only through the hours of 2 and 4.
And you should never. This is an interesting one for teachers out there. You should never write a person's name in red ink. This is because their names on graves are written in red, which I have not heard that before. And I've been to many like Japanese temples where they have burial grounds as well. And I do not recall them being written in red. So
I'm noticing a theme here. There's sort of this like really consistent fear of associating too closely in the living with the rituals that they give.
Boom.
Yeah.
Here's something.
They're
Here's
scared
something
of,
I
like, the
just realized.
spillover.
Here's something I just realized that's a bit witch hunting. But 13 is bad luck in the United States.
Yeah.
And 4 is bad luck in Japan. 13 is 1 and 3. And 3 plus 1 equals 4.
Sweet. Numerology.
the perfect
Terrifying.
crime.
Yeah. Here's something complete 180 from what we're discussing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit some wordplay, some fun with portmanteaus and definitions of origins of words.
We do that here.
The word electrocute is a combination of the words electric and execute, meaning you were
wow.
killed by electricity. Electrocution is death caused by electric shock, either accidental or deliberate. The word is derived from electro and execution, but it is also used for accidental death. The term electrocution, coined about the time of the first use of the electric chair in 1890.
Wow, I didn't realize it was that old.
Yeah, originally referred only to electrical execution, from which it's a portmanteau word, and not accidental or suicide electrical deaths. However, since no English word was available for non-judicial deaths due to electric shock, the word electrocution eventually took over as a description of all circumstances of electrical death from the new commercial electricity.
Right, but
First ever. Sorry.
No, it's okay. We use that word in a much softer, more casual
Correct.
way.
Yeah.
Like, I can get electrocuted in my house very casually
Which-
without dying.
Technically, it
Exactly.
should be you've been shocked.
Shocked.
Yes,
You've been
yes,
electric shocked.
I've been
Exactly.
shocked, but I guess
That-
we like to dramatize our little household.
Yeah.
That word
mishaps.
is a lot more badass than I was giving it credit
Yeah.
for.
Yeah,
that's pretty rad.
Electric execution.
Yeah.
Why did they even invent the electric chair?
They needed a way to kill prisoners
with
at a
slightly more.
They're like,
humane-
oh, check out this sick new technology. Let's use it to murder.
Was it like the Edison power plant lobby?
Yeah,
It was
we'll put
living
a chair in every jail.
And I guess it was so new and advantageous or whatever. They thought it was more humane than the standard hangings.
Yeah,
How so?
I guess
you just drop them from an X number of feet and the neck
break
snaps
their neck, yeah.
immediately.
Yeah, well, not always.
That's true. But then you just stab them awkwardly in the side for a while and hope that they die.
Oh, well, I left my sword at home. I thought you were bringing it.
I got a letter opener.
The first ever recorded accidental electrocution, not counting lightning strikes. The first ever recorded one.
Meaning the actual incident itself was recorded on
I don't
tape?
think on tape. I think it was like
Or the-
recorded in the annals of history.
It was
Yeah.
noted on in
Yeah.
a book.
The the policeman kneeling down on the chalk
Yeah.
drawing was like, oh, this man's been electrocuted.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
on the episode of The Wire in 1879. It occurred in 1879 when a stage carpenter in Lyon, France, touched a 250-volt wire.
An episode of Livewire.
Yeah,
A stage
Episode of-
carpenter?
Yeah,
What was
he was
he-
working at like a theater, I think. Probably.
Right.
Um,
I actually don't know the kind of scale of dangerous voltage. Is 250 a lot?
yeah, I think so.
That
It's
sucks.
enough
It
to
was.
kill.
It was then.
Enough to kill that dweeb.
Just everyone saw in black and white. They couldn't really handle a lot of shit.
Well, and I feel like it's 250.
really come up in the world.
It's on the page we're reading, the information we're reading. It says 250 volt wire, but I always hear it's more the amperage is what's dangerous. So whatever was recorded, it was recorded as a 250 volt wire, but it was probably the amperage that was actually killable.
Right.
That actually killed them because. I mean, I could be wrong if there's any electricians out there, but I've always been told that the
There might be
volts
some
isn't the
electricians out
danger. It's the volts isn't what really kills you. It's the amperage. Because like I used to have a taser
Right.
in high school, and there's always
me too, of
It's
course.
always 100,000 volts,
That's how
200,000
Thomas A.
volts.
Swift electronic rifle.
You know? And it was it was always the voltage isn't. It's always the how strong the amperage is.
was this your defense as you were being carted out of class?
Yeah.
By two armed
You'll never
security
get
guards?
me.
You'll never
It's
get-
the amperage.
It was one of those. But it was like the one Catwoman had in Batman Returns, and it was me and my friends. My friends and I would get it, and I bought it because it was cool in high school. And I was like, I
Of
bought
course,
it off
you're just
eBay.
like, well, I can buy this, so why not?
It was
This is available to
The
me.
things a 16-year-old can buy off of eBay, in 1998 was pretty amazing. I got it for like $60 or whatever, and it was really cool.
Things that I can buy off of eBay now.
Yeah,
That would be
right.
Amazing.
Still.
We should see what's in the mail.
But going back to the electric chair, I found a bunch of facts about it, and it's pretty fucked up. So it was created. First electric chair was created in 1887. After a gruesome hanging in 1887, New York State decided to start a committee to search for a more humane method of execution.
Right.
So this guy, Harold P. Brown, an employee of Thomas Edison, created the first electric chair based on a formula from Nikola Tesla for alternating current. So the alternating current electric chair was adopted by committee in 1889, and then...
Well,
What was this formula? It was like X
man
equals
plus chair divided by electricity equals corpse.
Yeah. Excellent.
Well, and it's also, if I remember correctly from my brain, is that's how Edison that's how Edison fucked Tesla over. Even though all AC current was a way better and way safer and stronger, more efficient way of distributing electricity, is Edison used the electric chair as an example of how dangerous alternating current actually was. It's like, look at this current kills people. We need to move on from.
Let's use
from
direct
alternating
current. Trust me, Edison.
The guy who's stolen so many ideas.
A guy who will never be named for a luxury car.
Has this rivalry been dramatized by Hollywood yet?
I don't think so. Maybe.
it was
It's-
in-
I'm thinking of The Prestige and The Illusionist a little
Prestige.
bit. That's kind of close. It's
feel
the same
like-
period.
But I feel like you could do something like really cool with it.
It'd be really cool. You see Tesla just like
TM
sitting.
dibs, shotgun, no blitz.
Yeah. The sound of 1,000 pens.
Yeah.
scratching.
I mean, Edison's name's on everything.
Yeah.
Edison light bulbs, Edison generators, everything. I mean, they were all ideas that.
But Tesla's name is so much sexier.
everybody,
Yeah, right.
So badass.
Nikola Tesla.
everybody knows Tesla. Everybody thinks Edison invented everything when he didn't. But Tesla, I feel like, even though he got the shaft and he more people who are in the know just they respect Tesla way more because he was way ahead of his time anyways.
Anyone who ever played Command and Conquer games back in the day knows that Tesla is a fucking badass. Because you could get this item called a Tesla coil that would shoot electricity at enemy troops and murder them.
That's all.
And speaking of murder by electricity, the first man ever to be executed in an electric chair was named William Kemmler. He had gruesomely murdered his wife with a hatchet and was sentenced to death by electric chair. It took 2 jolts of 1,000 volts each of electricity to end his life. The first one left him unconscious, but did not cut off his breathing or stop his heart. The second made his blood vessels burst as his body caught on fire. It took 8 minutes. The execution was deemed a total failure. They said it was far worse than hanging. They could have done a better job with an axe.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So, whoops.
Yeah, I mean, just to reiterate my initial concern, why would you invent this machine? It just seems like explicitly inhuman.
The problem is there's a sweet spot where you will render the electricity will render the prisoner unconscious before killing them.
Right.
So that way it's more humane in that regard. Like they're not awake when they're being killed.
Right.
But if you go too high, the blood vessels rupture and the body catches fire. So it's a little it's trying to find that.
Right. I mean, now we just put people as a guest on The View.
Exactly. Yeah, we just leave them there for 48 hours.
I think we've come a long way.
Yeah, I think so. Here's something. We like to have food facts on this show on occasion, and here's a little fun fact that I acquired from the website howstuffworks.com. It entails it's the difference between sherbet and sorbet. Now, a lot of people pronounce
Two
it
things
sherbet.
that aren't ice cream.
Yeah, a lot of people pronounce sherbet with 2 R's, but there's actually only one, and it's actually pronounced.
Isn't that one sufficient?
Correct. Well, some people would pronounce it sherbet, like orange sherbet.
Oh, I see. Not like stacked on top of each other.
Correct.
Really, just
correct.
elsewhere in the world.
Yeah, a lot of people I know. Growing up in Michigan, there was always a lot of people. It's sherbet or
I'll admit, I say sherbet.
Yeah, it's actually.
I just don't order it.
I don't say it at all.
It's actually
It's fucking
pronounced
garbage.
It's actually pronounced sherbet, and the sorbets. It's from the sorbet family, I guess. But sorbets, the difference between sherbet and sorbets are friendly to lactose intolerant individuals since they don't contain any dairy products. Sherbets, on the other hand, can contain dairy. Sorbets are made with pureed fruits, sugar, and water, and sherbets are made with those 3 same ingredients
Plus cream.
Plus creams. And sorbets also have somewhat softer consistency.
I think this is all irrelevant because I'm never going to order any of them. I'm going to stick to my ice cream and my gelato.
Yeah, gelato's pretty great.
Gelato's
although I will say I had a champagne sorbet at a restaurant down the street from here, and it was very nice. It's like they give it to you at the end of the meal, and it's a good palate cleanser. It's nice. After eating, you just feel very fresh and invigorated.
Right. One time I was at a fancy event, a gala, if you will.
Ooh.
And I was dressed well, to the 8s perhaps. I don't have enough money to dress to the 9s, but the waiters came by with these little trays, and they gave us champagne glasses with a single kind of melon baller sphere of mango sorbet in the champagne, and it just dropped in beautifully and fizzled as this little diminishing sphere. It was delicious.
No, I'm looking up here because I've always heard I've always heard gelato and ice cream and all that. And I was, since you've brought gelato up, I was curious what the actual, information about gelato is and what makes it different.
I actually have no idea. This would be great.
I'll tell you. Gelato is the Italian word for ice cream, derived from the Latin word gelatus, meaning frozen. In American English, this word commonly refers to varieties of ice cream made in a traditional Italian style. Gelato is made with milk, cream, various sugars, and flavoring such as fresh fruit and nut purees.
So ice cream.
It is generally lower in calories, fat, and sugar than ice cream. Gelato is a type of soft ice cream containing a relatively small amount of air, and by statute, gelato in Italy must have at least 3.5% butterfat.
Interesting.
So it's the soft. So whereas ice cream can be the hard, it's not necessarily soft serve. Gelato will always be the soft serve with low amounts of air in there.
It's like eating a pillow.
Yeah.
Flavor.
Yeah. Really strict Italian laws on air content.
Exactly.
In our gelato.
Come on, Italy. Get over yourself.
Here's something interesting. In the United States, there is no standard of definition for gelato set forth by the United States Food and Drug Administration as there is for ice cream. Whereas ice cream in the United States is defined by the federal code both by its ingredients, which includes milk fat, also known as butterfat, of 10% or more. Gelato in the United States covers a wide range of products, including frozen desserts eaten like ice cream. So there's actually the FDA has no definition of gelato as they do with ice cream. In order to be considered ice cream in the United States, you have a set standard of rules.
Sure.
Whereas gelato, you could just freeze an apple and say, "Hey, it's gelato."
Yeah.
Well, we genetically modify our gelato, so it's all
I'd like some free-range gelato.
Did this gelato lead a good life? So what's your favorite flavor of ice cream or gelato?
I will pack peanut butter into anything.
I love peanut butter.
Peanut's the greatest
Yeah.
substance on the planet. My girlfriend despises it.
Mine does too.
This makes no sense. They should
I'm
just
like,
hang out
you're
and we should eat peanut
wrong.
butter together
Exactly.
and leave them at home.
We're eating our nut butters. Don't disturb us.
Everybody on this podcast knows how much. Everybody that listens to this show knows how much I love peanut butter. I like peanut butter, but if we're going to discuss our favorite, I'll tell you what. Superman ice cream is a very
Like
one of my
the
favorite.
from
is
the old
that?
truck, like the ice cream truck, where
The
it'd be
ice cream
like
truck, it's like the rainbows, and typically it's vanilla, but it's some of them it's just vanilla with the colors, or some of them it's a mixture of like raspberry, blueberry.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
stain the shit out of your face.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a Halloween mask. Oh
I
my God.
always would want those more than I enjoyed them. Like the screwball.
Yes.
It had like a gumball at the
Yes.
bottom, and I'm just like, this is amazing. It's two things in one. But and I'd be eating.
I don't
I'm
even
like,
want this
I'm just
extra
like,
thing.
well, this is fucking terrible. Like I made a terrible choice as a child.
Yeah.
So you're okay.
I would say the Superman flavored, the rainbow flavored,
If you had a choice,
if I had a
that'd be
choice,
yours.
or the mint without the
Yeah.
chocolate chip, because the chocolate chips get in my teeth, but I love the mint flavor.
Yeah.
See, that reminds me of toothpaste. I'd like to arrive at the mint later, after the chocolate.
Oh, but now that we're talking about it, there used to be a place called the South End Market or City Dairy. I can't remember the name of it, but it was in my hometown of Bay City, Michigan, as I mentioned before, and it was a small dairy, and they used to have ice creams. And I remember as a kid walking there, and they had one called Blue Moon, which was very good. It was very delicious. It was
Nice.
blue. I can't remember what
Did
flavored
they just
it was.
cram
but
an
it was
orange into the top?
No.
Well,
A
wish.
beer joke. It was a
Yeah.
beer. Some of those, I'll tell you what.
It was a garbage beer.
It's but it was a funny joke because I got it and I liked it. And I don't drink, but I know a lot of people that drink Blue Moon and they want oranges. And from what I gather, I feel like Blue Moon is harder to get out here. Is that real,
No,
or
I
is
wouldn't say
it's more
so.
popular now?
I'd say
There's
it's
better options.
Yeah, I'd say there's a wide number. So Blue Moon is a wheat beer, sort of skewing towards the Hefeweizen side of things.
Yes.
And that kind of beer is good. It's like it's more associated with like summertime.
Yes.
Because there's the lighter flavors, and given the warmer climate of Los Angeles, people tend to skew towards those lighter beers, those like more citrusy kind of things.
Right.
That being
IPAs,
said,
saisons.
yeah, taking it back to creams
Yes.
for
Creams.
just a moment.
Perfect.
Creams.
Absolutely.
So the reason I
We moved
asked
way
you
too
guys the most popular flavor in the United States, what do you guys think it is?
Chocolate.
Chocolate?
I'm gonna go with cookie dough.
Cookie dough? It's vanilla.
All right, well that's
20 to 29% of overall sales of ice cream are vanilla, and chocolate comes in a distant second.
Damn. Is that just because people unimaginatively are stalking a holiday party and they're just like, fuck it, I'm gonna play it safe. and get
Probably.
some vanilla.
But
They're
I
not
feel
even
like-
getting vanilla bean. They're just getting like the garbage
Yeah.
yellow vanilla.
But I feel like if you think about like vanilla ice cream is also like the complement to most desserts because it is that sort of like basic sweet flavor, but
Right.
like, hey, you've got this like delicious cake, have a scoop of vanilla ice cream.
It doesn't
with
even
it.
actually taste like vanilla. Like, have you ever
No.
had vanilla extract? Like,
Yes.
vanilla is a very pronounced and
Yeah.
like kind of potent flavor. And it's actually, if you ever make milkshakes in your house, it's great to add an extra drop
Yeah.
or two of the extract because it really actually kind of revives and reminds us why we are like calling it this flavor. Like,
Exactly.
it doesn't really. It's sort of kind of settled into this like default cream state. And vanilla ice cream. I don't even really think of vanilla as a plant or as a flavor when I hear that word in the context of ice cream. I just think like cream and sugar.
Yeah,
pretty much.
I concur.
Do you concur, Doctor?
I should have concurred.
Well, the reason I was asking about these ice cream flavors is vanilla is the most popular flavor, but there's some weird ones out there. There's some weird ice cream.
Will you read us
People will make it about anything. So there's a place in Japan called Torimi Cafe. It is a hot spot in Kobe. You go there, get a nice cup of coffee, get some katsukade.
Dan, don't tell everyone. Come on.
Sorry, it's a hot spot. Look it up on Yelp. And they have 36 pet birds in this cafe. Animal cafes it probably is super annoying. Anyone, everywhere, no matter where you move, quick sidebar, there's always one dude on your street that has a bird that just lives on his shoulder.
Dude, we literally have a macaw in an adjacent property.
That guy is always a creep. But this cafe, so they have 36 pet birds, and they love them so much, so they went to this event called the Hanshin Department Store Small Bird Expo in Osaka, and with them, they brought 3 interesting flavors of ice cream.
Bird?
Parakeet, cockatiel, and sparrow. So, yeah.
No, for real, though? Like, are they meat-flavored?
No. Let me read you the descriptions.
Oh, they're just
I have descriptions of these 3 flavors.
Figurative.
Java sparrow.
Boom.
A small portly bird that feeds primarily on grains and seeds, the Java sparrow inspired a flavor comprised of vanilla ice cream base with grains mixed in. As the delicious desserts melt in your mouth, you might feel the sensation of a Java sparrow rolling around on your tongue. Well, it's not a bird. That'd be weird. It's just marshmallows hidden inside. No one puts it better than Torimi Cafe, though. It's the feeling of pressing the breast of a Java sparrow in your mouth.
Were your eyes closed as you just recited that?
Oh, yeah. I did that from memory. Parakeet is the flavor. It's like eating some vanilla ice cream in one hand and then taking a whiff of a parakeet in your other hand. And that is vanilla ice cream base with honey and apple blended in.
Zoo flavors.
And last but not least, cockatiel. It has the parakeet's honey apple vanilla base, but rather than grains, they have larger pumpkin and sunflower seeds to create a smooth and crunchy flavor.
Is this ice cream for the birds?
No, it's for people. That the cafe compares to, quote, when you're sleeping with your mouth open and your cockatiel runs over your face and gets its leg in your mouth. This is real. It's a real place.
This is often like I think the kind of American experience of Japan. It's just like bewilderment and like, excitement and a bit of arousal. It's just great.
Yeah, it's they love oddities there, weird flavors. Just look at Kit Kats. Look at every year Pepsi does a strange flavor. Like they've done strawberry milk Pepsi and salty watermelon Pepsi and
that's terrible.
Cucumber Pepsi.
That sounds right.
Ice cucumber.
Ice, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
we actually really do have neighbors adjacent to our property that have a macaw, and it's out in the yard, and all of a sudden you'll just hear this like, Wah! It's like, what was that demon screech? What was that? And it turned out to be a big bird.
Oh my God!
And our cat, wants to murder it, of course, and she'll leave and she'll climb over the fence and disappear and like get into sweet tree fights with other cats and come back and expect food. And it's she's a cat, but I went out looking for her one day because she was gone for a really long time. Like I was beginning to get concerned as a cat owner. I'm doing the rounds, I'm shaking her stupid little treats, which she doesn't even like, and I'm just being an asshole. And I go over, get to like all the way around the block to the other side where the macaw owners are, and it turns out to be a lovely elderly couple. Not elderly, maybe in like their like late 60s. I'm being a dick. They're older in their house, and they have this bird, and they've astroturfed their entire yard, and it's all the trees are kind of laden with these kitschy ornaments, and I feel like you should just be playing mini golf on their property.
Yeah.
It's a ridiculous place. And their
funny.
their son is in a touring death metal band, and he and his band have the van out front, and they're all just hanging out, and it's like a bunch of like gangly, long-haired metal dudes with tattoos, and there's like one like really badass, really hot metal chick who's there, and like this old she's just smoking. It was great, and like the parents are there, and they're hanging out with this macaw, and I'm looking for my cat, and I stopped looking for the cat and just hung out with this metal band. It was
What's
awesome.
the name of the metal band?
I don't remember. At all.
Well, quick sidebar then. I will plug a different metal band. that's related to parrots. There is a metal band, I believe, coming out of Baltimore or
my
Philadelphia
God. Yes.
called Hatebeak.
So sick.
Their lead singer is an African gray parrot.
It's just 3 people. It's a 3-piece, right?
Yeah.
It's a drummer, a guitarist, and a parrot.
Yeah, look them up online if you get a chance. Hatebeak.
Hatebeak.
They taught their parrot to like scream, and so it's like it's just
They just put it in a studio.
It's
Basically.
parrotcore.
It's so sick. I bet it's got
Birdcore.
some
Birdcore.
pretty sick breakdowns.
Yeah. Well, we
That's
are
so funny.
approaching our limit for the day, our time limit. James, thank you very much for being here
Thank
with
you
us today.
so much for having me.
Now we are approaching the part of the show where can people find you online? What projects do you have coming up you want to promote? All that fun stuff.
Yes.
Word, I got some cool stuff coming up. Well, first of all, please follow me on Twitter. It's
Yes.
James Pianka. It's P like pizza, I-A-N as in Nancy, K-A. I've said that 1,000 times. It's terrible. I do write for Magic the Gathering. I got a bunch of stuff out in Console Tarkir, which is the one that just printed in September. Most importantly, though, I am working with a new game developer that is assembling for this project, and I am what appears to be the lead designer of the Harry Potter MMORPG that will be coming out in about a year, 2 years, we'll say maybe 3, depending on development, but... just a little plug on that. We're setting it between the first and second Wizarding Wars, so about 2 years after Voldemort's sudden disappearance on his quasi-successful attempt on the Potters, and about 12 years before Harry's arrival at Hogwarts. So all of the protagonists that you're sick of seeing are out of the picture, off camera, and this story is about you. You are now the wizard or witch alter ego you've always wanted to be on campus, learning spells, dueling, playing Quidditch, doing quests. It's going to be sick.
That's awesome.
We're
That's
really,
awesome.
We're
That's
really
really
excited
cool.
about it. So check us out on Facebook. It's The Wizarding World Online.
That's really cool.
Developer is Biohazard Entertainment. We're just getting started. Not a lot of press out there yet, but follow me on Twitter. I'm gonna be promoting it. And if you're a Harry Potter fan, if you're an MMO game player, this is definitely something that we're going to be ambitious about. And we have Warner Brothers arm's length support. They don't want to get behind it yet. They haven't agreed to publish it yet, but they are involved to a small degree, and we're excited to see how this goes.
That's awesome. Very
That's
cool.
awesome. That's really cool, dude.
Thank you.
That's very exciting. Yeah, follow him on Twitter. Do all of those things he just said.
Yes. And in less exciting news, we are also on the internet.
Yes.
You can find us online at TWL Podcast on Twitter. You can find us, if you want to shoot us an email, you have a fact you want us to read, you can find us on Gmail, todaywelearnedpodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Today We Learned with Razzle and Dan. And if you want to talk to us individually, you're in luck. On Twitter, I am at OsteoFerocious.
And I am at My Name is Razzle 2.
Like the number
The
2.
Number 2, yeah. My
Yeah.
name is Razzle and the number 2.
Yeah, and guys, thank you again for all your support this year. We've had a blast doing this podcast
It's been
for you.
A great year.
Yeah, we just want you to have happy holidays, happy and healthy New Year. Keep to your resolutions, or don't. It's your life. We're not going to tell you how to live it.
This is the time of year to hang out with friends and do cool things, or not hang out with friends and do even cooler things.
Exactly.
My friends.
It's we as we say on every as we close every show, we appreciate all the listeners, we appreciate all the support and all the all the new listeners and all the old listeners who've been from the beginning, and we really appreciate it, and you guys have given us a great year, a great fun year of episodes. We've been around for over a year now, and we're approaching in the late 60s as far as the episodes go, and as we move on into 2015, we look forward to hearing from you even more and providing even more episodes and fun facts for you guys to share and learn. So everybody have a safe holiday. And thanks again, and give us a good rating on iTunes and review, and tell your friends to listen to this. And as always,
You're a wizard, Harry.
thanks, everybody.
Take care.
Now leaving Nerdist.com.